Hey, how's it going everyone? It is Drago, and we're back with another chapter of Deadrock, chapter 22, A Rondo of Flame and Wolf. And the cover page for this chapter has Alicia on it. Not too much going on with this cover. I do like all the bird signs in the background. But let's get into the actual chapter where we pick up with Frey going into the tournament once again, even though she's badly beaten. What she is really determined to defeat Eiji and go into the finals. Pretty much everyone seems to be doubting if she's even able to fight with her wounds, because she literally had her arm ripped off and her jaw broken in the last fight, and she still hasn't fully recovered from that. Even more so when Makoto is literally saying, well, if she dies here, hopefully her body remains so I can reanimate her as a zombie. Which makes this situation even more worse, because if she wins, she will eventually have to go up against Yakuto. So that's pretty much a lose-lose situation. At the same time was when Yakuto was taking away Setsuna, and she is not fully dead because she actually still talks with him. And the one thing she says before she passes out once again is a white shadow made Yuri act all funny, which is where he kind of puts two and two together as to probably God, probably maybe under the influence of that, because it goes to his parents dying, that flashback. I don't know if she fully died here or if this is just her passing out. I imagine since she's still talking to him that she still has a chance to survive. But we go back over to the tournament and Frey's match finally starting, and she starts it off with a massive punch. Like, I absolutely love this panel with her absolutely decimating Eiji, but that punch doesn't seem to do too much, and honestly she still seems very much joyful in this fight. I know she really likes fighting. And at this point, he also realizes, oh, I probably shouldn't take her lightly because she did defeat Luzin, which is where Eiji finally kicks in the gear and he's basically teleporting around. Honestly, it kind of reminds me of Jalal doing Meteor within Fairy Tail, to where he's kind of zipping around left and right. And some of these panels with him zipping around, like, you can't even tell what you're looking at. Like, there's a panel with his face all distorted and then he's like these blurbs. Yeah, it's a little bit hard to track him on these, and he's hitting Frey left and right. Like, she really is having a hard time initially here at tracking him and doing anything to retaliate, basically. But at a certain point, she starts getting his movements down and finally punches him, and I really like that panel too. And that's very much a Natsu energy panel, to where, you know, her fist is on fire saying gotcha. Even the smirk is very Natsu. And they both seem pretty into this fight because he has a pretty wicked smile on his face, and Frey is seemingly more serious now. But she definitely is worse from wear because of her previous fight. At the same time is when Ryzen sees the guy that killed the princess, and he like swore revenge on him in the crowd. So he's off to do his own little side quest. You go back over to Frey's match once again, and she's really getting winded, like she's kind of already collapsing down, which Eiji really doesn't take any time to beat her up. He immediately goes to kick her, and then he turns into a wolf. And he goes absolutely crazy on Frey. He's hitting her left and right, and really is not giving her any chance at survival whatsoever. And I genuinely love that Frey, even in this moment where she's getting so beat up, has a sense of humor, with her saying, "You've been hitting me. How are you going to make it up to me if I rip off my arm again during this fight?" Like, it is just one of the most unhinged statements I think you could possibly make, but I think it's kind of funny. And she follows this up with a very big attack with a Blazing King's Blast. But even still, that doesn't do enough to fully put down Eiji. He still is getting back up on his feet. And this pretty much concludes the fight for them. They're pretty much both at a standstill because we cut away from them right after this panel. The final page of this chapter is Ryzen confronting Hannibal, which I'm sure you're going to get him completing his goal now of trying to kill this guy or figure out why he killed the princess. With that, it is the end of this chapter, so my thoughts. Pretty dang fast. I really liked a lot of Frey's fight, to be honest. I thought there were some cool moments in that and just some cool attacks, and I like that they're kind of blow for blow, but I still don't entirely know how Frey's going to win that one. I know she has the origin route, and they mentioned that a few times in this chapter, but is that going to be enough to defeat Eiji? I don't know. Just because he is not nearly as wounded as she is, and she's very winded already. Yes, she kind of got a second wind right now, but is she able to keep going? Who knows? I think there is probably a very high possibility, and I honestly kind of thought she was probably going to die this chapter, but at least if she doesn't get brutally massacred, she could potentially come back due to Makoto. Even still, it's still kind of a lose-lose for her, because if she wins, she's still going to have to face Yakuto. Overall, a pretty fast chapter. You're kind of getting a few more things added in with Ryzen, but I quite enjoyed it. So what are your guys' thoughts? Leave it in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and this is Drago, signing out.